This is Vinyl Voices Radio. ESPN 97.5.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm John Denman.
Jesse Sandehan.
All right, welcome everybody to this week's episode of Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN 97.5. He is Jesse Sandejas.
Hey, y'all.
I'm John Denman, and we are hanging out at the, I don't even know what we call these studios, the Hell and High Water Studios. Basically, Vinyl Voices Studio, the Adley Law Firm Studio, if they want to get behind that.
That's right. Frank's Pizza Studio.
Frank Pizza Studio. I like the sound of that, actually. That's pretty good.
Sounds pretty good.
But we are at Jason's garage, sitting there recording another episode of Vinyl Voices Radio, and really excited about tonight. We have a fun band that I guess the first time that we all hung out was about, I don't know, 8 years ago is what we determined.
At least.
So, Jesse, why don't you introduce everybody?
Sure. So tonight, y'all, we have the Broken Folks, Texas Country Music Award winners. And so on the couch, we have Brent, Josh, and Ellen. And we're going to hear some songs and talk country music. The first country music act on Vinyl Voices.
Yes. So, congratulations for that. That's going to go a long ways.
I mean, no pressure or anything.
Yeah, no pressure at all. First country music act. But, I don't know, your style of country is, I like it because it's like, it takes me back to what country really should be, in my opinion, right? I mean, there's pop everything mixed in with a bunch of genres and all this stuff, but listen to a lot of your music this last week, because you guys are going to be on, like, oh yeah, man, let's jam some stuff. It has that it took me back to like some of the early Dwight Yoakam fun times, and then with not only that, but with some of the lyrics that we'll talk about in these. Someone made me laugh.
We're good.
Some made you laugh. Someone was like, are you guys okay? So that album was...
Does anybody need a hug over there?
I know.
You got to laugh in the face of, like,
You want the honest answer?
diversity. Right? So what you got on the song? That's the truth. That's right.
Yeah.
So
So we're rolling to a song?
let's roll into the song.
Let's roll into a song. So, what song are we going to listen to first?
Let's see where it went wrong.
Where I Went Wrong.
There you go.
That's the title track off
the
last
album?
year's
Yeah,
album. Yeah. All right, here we go.
I can feel the weight of the hammer hanging just above my head as these clouds come rolling in. Yesterday's fumes heavy on my breath as I sang a lonely song. I don't know where I went wrong. I don't know where I went wrong, but I'm sitting here cold and alone. She's downtown having all the fun, doing things that can't be undone. I don't know where I went wrong. Pour myself a drink and I start to think, why do I always howl at the moon? Staying up late, getting no sleep as I dig my grave with a spoon. Don't think she's got a mind to head back home, and I can't say I blame her. She never did want to go it alone. I sit back down in this chair and I run my fingers through my hair. I don't know where I went wrong. parties downtown, having all the fun, doing things that can't be undone. I don't know where I went wrong. I don't know where I went wrong.
All right, that is the Broken Spokes.
Where went wrong? Thank you, man.
Yeah. Like we're talking during the song. I mean, there's a lot to unwrap in this one. Who wants to start?
Well,
This is let's start from the early days.
look, we don't even know. Tell us about the song. No, this song was a song that Josh had written a lot of the melody and the guitar chords and things too. And he had, I remember pieces of it, right? And he sent it to me and was like, hey, what do you think of this? And I'm like, I really dig it. And we already knew where this was going. And I'd worked on some lyrics for it. And he was like, look, help me work this all out. And I put we did some lyrics things with it and sent it back to him. He said, yeah, I like it. I dig it. And so off it went. And so, luckily, like I said, he had kind of already set the motif, I would say, with the overall, direction of the song. And we were just looking to say, all right, we need to, fill it out with some lyrics and kind of complete the thought, so to speak. And so I helped kind of put some of that together. A lot of these songs you'll hear, he and I have worked to some degree together on for sure, in some way. But that's kind of really how the song kind of came about.
How about, I mean, it's like the first song on the album.
Right.
And it's also the title track. So where did it fall in line as far as putting the album together? And then because it feels like that kind of a, okay, here's where we're going audience, like here it is right at the beginning, and the rest of the album is kind of has those themes too. So,
I don't know how we came to have that one first on the album, but I guess it worked out.
Yeah, it's like, how do things happen? We don't know. But
Yeah.
I remember we all, and Ellen, I don't know, you may remember better than I do, but I think we all looked at it. We really liked the song. We wanted to kind of get, it's the whole you've watched too much John Cusack movies. You're like, well, you got to build it and then you got to take it down and then you got to bring it back up. But we thought, hey, this would be a good one to start with, kind of be the title track of the album. And so kind of just kick it off, hopefully bring you in.
Has a good initial energy, I think.
Yeah.
You're like, this is what we sound like. And then the rest follows after that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's full of like the music. It's good, like uplifting. It's good dancing song, and all that stuff. Then when you listen to the lyrics, it's like there's a lot more involved in that, especially like using a spoon to dig in your grave. That line there. The first time I heard it, it was like, that's a really badass line, throw in there, because it could dig. There's a lot of directions and a lot of ways you could take that. So what did you mean for it in this song?
It's funny. Josh wrote that. He wrote the line for sure. And when I took it as a heroin reference, it's just naturally to the beginning.
For some reason.
Yeah, it's a funny story.
Went straight to
I
heroin.
immediately went to a heroin reference.
It's an
but-
expression, though.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard people
Yeah.
say it before, not in the drug
Death
use,
by a thousand cuts.
references,
For
but
some reason, I had in my mind, like, going to the refrigerator in the middle of the night and eating ice cream. I don't know why that was.
I'm pre-diabetic, man. I'm killing myself with that.
So much ice cream.
But
See,
well, if you listen to like the line before, it's shit. I'm trying to remember.
I'm caught up on how wide of array of interpretation and stuff.
Heroin
and
and
that
ice
line.
cream. Like,
Exactly. That's what I.
Before that, it's like I pour myself another drink. Why do I always howl at the moon, right? And then it's like I dig myself a grave, with a spoon or whatever. But it's kind of like that. It's like you're drinking yourself to death, kind of in a sense. But
right.
yeah, that's why it follows that. But
Yeah.
I always thought it as like the classic male novel, right? Of like, I screw everything up all the time. I don't do shit, but I'm on the couch going, "Why? I'm the asshole. It's me. I mean, I'm the problem here. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't
like
get
driving nails in your coffin,
Right.
It's like digging in with a spoon, one spoon at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, when you listen to music and you connect with it, you definitely are getting that sense of like, you know that those persons, you know, like, and maybe that person is you, you know, and
I
so
think it's all of us at some point, you know.
yeah, but yeah, that's
I had that box of Swiss rolls that sits in my cabinet. One spoonful at a time, and
Right?
it's
See, I was the one that was way off here. You know what I mean?
I
Clearly.
mean, yeah, it's Swiss rolls and ice cream. I think
I'm the one that
that's
took it
okay.
dark, you know. I'm the one that took it dark.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, heroin.
it's a wide swing
It is.
for sure.
It is a broad audience that are watching and listening, so you know it'll hit
we had that-
everyone a little bit different.
We had that whole conversation in the studio, like, is this too much? Are people going to think it's a drug reference or not? Which, I guess, I mean, it could be, it's open to
And
interpretation.
honestly, like, let's just take a moment to be like, how lame are we now that we're in the studio going, is someone going to misinterpret our lyrics as a drug reference? Well, 18-year-old selves would kick our asses right now.
Just responsible these days.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though, you know, because you guys are like, you know, have like a lot of currency in this state as far as, you know, your music. I mean, you're playing like Green Hall and like, you know, award winners, you know, and stuff. And so is that a thing that you kind of have to think about when you're like creating music, you know, future albums and songs that,
I mean, I think it's more like if you're in just being to be aware of it. You know, if that's your intention, if that's what you want to come across, so that's the point you're trying to make, sure. But like, if you're not trying to make that point, then people hear it and they're like, "Oh, that's totally a drug reference." Like, I never didn't meant for it to be a drug reference or whatever. You know, I think that was more of the question at the time. Is like, okay, is this going to be interpreted as such? You know, are we trying to convey that? You know,
right?
That's kind of the whole deal. I think it's more.
Yeah, like I said, it's changed over time, right? As the business end of this thing has expanded, right? And you start getting more onto the business side, and business people start coming and being involved with the music, and they have their opinions and things about how what we do impacts their ability to do their job. But we've never tried to change anything we're doing specifically for let's just say a business perspective, right? You know?
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I mean, you just focus on the art. So.
Yeah.
We're trying to as much as we possibly can, right? I think we do that within a certain context at times, right? But I think if we ever said, all right, we got to write something for radio, I mean, I feel like it would suck. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe we should try, but you know what I mean? It's
Can't play this song on the radio.
yeah. So, you know, yeah, we've always tried to we're going to do what we do. And again, this band has been so unique from the day that it started, when Josh and I kind of started it and how we started it. You know, I think our voice is still evolving, so to speak, right? In terms of like the style, the instrumentation, the style, the lyrics, all of it. But I think it's never going to stray too far away from the kind of the core source of what we're trying to do.
Yeah. I mean, you can listen to stuff that you put out early days and now, and I know who that is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And I like that to a certain extent, right? I mean, it worked for Slayer. Why can't it work for us, right? To be honest with me.
I mean, it's traditional country music, you know.
Well, and that's when we started this band, that was kind of what we were focused on, really, is there was no one that did just pure, the pure source of it, right?
Right.
And so there was people that did maybe some of the covers of these songs and things, but they did their version, right? It was a guy with a Les Paul and whatever. Mm-hmm. And we kind of went back because we didn't really necessarily grow up on this stuff. We come from a little bit different background, but we kind of peeled it back and said, I want to understand exactly to a T what the original recipe was. And let's learn that, like, as purely and as easily as we can. And then what we'll do from there as this band grew was say our voice will kind of morph from there, but we're going to learn the original recipe exactly as it was. And then we'll see what, as we write our own songs and we do things, you know, with ourselves, we'll see what direction that takes. And I think that's why we sound the way we sound. I don't think we would sound the way we sound without having that approach.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you disagree or agree.
No, totally agree.
Now let's go ahead and take a break and get some more Frank's Pizza, get some more Spindle Tap beer. This is Vinyl Voices Radio. We're hanging out with the Broken Spokes. We'll be right back.
Downtown, having all the fun, doing things that can't be undone. I don't know where I went wrong.
This is Vinyl Voices, brought to you by Adley Law Firm, Houston's personal injury attorneys for 30 years.